They've made me tough.
This morning, few minutes, Ghanaians are complaining that electricity.
They made me
buy hoop water. If English state, it's more or less like welcome address.
Okay. Let me share a few small message. We are in a Holy Week. For us, the Christians, we are in a Holy Week. Easter. Yesterday was Palm Sunday. Easter is coming, and
Easter is when? Sunday.
We have Friday, Sunday, and then Monday.
So Monday becomes holiday.
Monday will be holiday. So Friday is a holiday. Monday is a holiday.
Okay.
So it's also going to be a long one for us all.
So Eid and Easter.
Yes, we are reflecting.
This one, there's no food in it.
There's a lot of
matter.
A lot.
It's prayer.
It's prayer, food, everything.
Okay.
You know, yesterday people call it Palm Sunday, and their understanding is that you need to eat palm soup.
They will foodilize everything. They will like food.
It's a bit confusing, but we love it. So First Corinthians 10:23. All things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. All things are permissible, but not all things edify. So we have a right to say everything. We have a right to do everything. But let's ask ourselves, is it beneficial or profitable? What will be the end game? Will it be for a selfish purpose or a selfless purpose? So we look at Savior Jesus. His death was a selfless one. We believe that is what has brought us salvation. So I wish everybody well. Let's move and talk about Ghana. Your first question was about...
By the way.
It can never be by the way. Next month it will be topical when it's implemented. Those who are complaining, I'm personally scared especially when I saw the percentage.
The rate 14 and
for electricity, water is around 4. Electricity for water, not everybody is blessed to have the national.
Nowadays, people are doing more boreholes.
Yes, people are investing in that. But whether from the national level or private or personal, it's costly. And you need it to survive. The percentage one will say is reasonable, fair. But with the electricity, it is on the high side. So for instance, if you spend 100 cedis a month, it means that it's going to be 140 something. 14. It will be 1. How do you say? 114 cedis. Yes. 0.7. It's huge. Imagine someone who consumes 1,000, which means
that's when you see
11,040 something. It's huge. But who do we blame? The last quarter of 2024, PURC proposed 12%. Government, because of the election, said they should give us just 3%, which means there was that 9% that was put on ice. 9%. And it was not going to be scrapped. It was more like postponed. And then the early part, when, through the IMF agreement that Nanado Dankwa and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Ken Oforiatta took us to, every 3 months, there was supposed to be an adjustment. Every 3 months. And in Ghana, things don't really go down. It's always up. And that is why the last quarter, PURC proposed 12%. Government massaged it and said, give them 3. And let's put the 9 in the freezer. We will give it to them, surely. Whether we break the 8
but if
or not.
If previous government could engage in that negotiation. And it means that this government could have done so.
No. It will mean that what you have to do, you are just doing it gradually, but
so
it will bite you. Now, always, the reason for the increment has been inflation. Note it down. Exchange rate. Now,
we thought we have seen some stability in the exchange.
Yes.
So it should have reflected. No?
Absolutely. There's that reflection. That is how come.
The reason why it's 14.
When you look, 14, when you take 9 out of it, the backlog, which is 9, you get around 5%. So if we had that last year, now it would have been around 5%. Looking at all these indicators. Now, they have introduced that backlog into it. And the more you stagger it, it's more like a wound. It becomes worsened.
So the blame, is on IMF and the MPP.
No, it's the past administration. The IMF, they are there. You took yourself there. And they gave you conditions. You could not negotiate. You agreed that every 3 months, you are giving me this. This is how I'll also be dealing with my debt. And that aside, that ECG container cable thing that has also come in, they need the increment to maintain the system. Now, where are the things to maintain the system? They've stolen it, the MPP administration, they've stolen everything.
Now. It's not proving that it's stolen.
Who caused it?
According to government.
Leadership bears the ultimate responsibility. We've seen the administration of many past governments. It is under the MPP, Nanado led, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led, that we have seen this. And now we are recovering more. But more has been smelted and destroyed. Who will pay? You and I. So who do we blame? It's the MPP led by Nanado Dankwa and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
For those who are always asking for us to stream the Monday's edition of the show, of course we do it. But this morning we are live on Facebook, so you can
okay. People want to see our faces.
When you are done, do the cutting for them.
Yes. Cut the punch.
They will come and blame us. They will come and blame me. Sorry.
Has come with a lot of punches. Last week he was not here.
Alhaji is owing.
And next week Monday will not be here. He didn't give you.
He's owing me. He wasn't in town.
Oh, Charlie.
He returned.
Alhaji
Seidu. Good morning. You're welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
How have you been?
Oh, I've been.
But I ask for myself, I will still come and take it.
Yeah. Why not? I mean,
5 minutes. ECG.
If you had even spoken to Baba Isa will have facilitated.
Sorted you.
Baba Isa, I spoke to him. He wasn't giving.
I was home too bad. So
I know I asked for you that you were not.
Was around, but I wasn't. Yes, okay. I had then traveled.
They say the IMF thing you brought on to us is the reason why we are having to suffer this 14% electricity tariff increment. Yes.
Alpha, let me say good morning to you, and also say good morning to our cherished listeners, and also say a word of prayer for the people of Boko.
We'll come to that.
Passing through all these turbulences and turmoil. You see the way Evangelist is struggling. When I was on my way, I was laughing like that.
Like a killer.
The work has not started yet.
Yes. We are warming up.
Yes, the work has not started.
But doesn't he have a point that this thing you
what?
brought
We brought what?
When you went to IMF, IMF has said that as part of the PRC they do quarterly adjustments. So they are following from there.
And so from that time up till now, when we were in government, how many times had that been taken as that affected? That we were increasing 14, 13, 12, what, when? Tell me.
Oh, it was happening. I can.
When? Were we increasing electricity to that extent, to that magnitude, as you are saying? You asked the brilliant question. That if you sit here comfortably and say that the previous government had done some negotiation to push it further or to push it forward, because of political whatever you so believe, then you people are daft.
Oh, no, that's too harsh.
Can't they do say?
Allow him.
That's too
Oh, but if I say daft is not an insult. I mean, it means that they are daft in governance. Because if you cannot negotiate, if you sit and tell me that you cannot negotiate something that has been done by your predecessor, but the only solution that you have is to bring hardship to your people, then there is no point of you being in government. That's what I'm saying. Listen,
Alhaji,
we run executive system of governance in Ghana. Executive system of governance. Today, when you assume office today, the buck stops with you. You people were okay to terminate the appointment of people who were duly appointed by the previous government, to the extent that you even went all the way to those who were even appointed in 2023 and 2022. Because you are in government, you could do whatever you want to do. You did it. It was okay. But you sit here between the teeth and your skin to tell me that, oh, as for that one, the previous government, you are in charge. Make it right. Do it and do it well. Well, when we came and we inherited a cap placed on public employment.
okay.
We made it possible and took people on to go and work. Today you sit here and say that containers are flew and so MPP. Hey, is that what you are saying? Your Minister for Energy came and told the whole country that when he assumed office, he went to the port and inspected 2,500 containers. Didn't he say that? Hey, tell me, didn't he? Didn't he say that?
Opposition style of communication. Hey,
your minister, John Jinapo, he came, he went to the Parliament House, said it there, granted interviews, and said that he went and inspected 2,500 containers. At the time your people had gone there to take over, your people had already taken over. They've gone to sack all the security guys there, everybody there, and took over. And today, you still sit and live by in your past when you tell me that the container that got missing after your own minister had come to tell everybody that he had gone to the port to inspect it, counted everything, left it under the care of the national security. Today is missing. You are saying MPP time. What are you talking about?
That's Alhaji.
Are we okay?
That's Alhaji Seidu.
Listen. There is a vacuum. There is a vacuum of authority in this country. Who is in charge?
Of course, the president.
Who? Is he around?
Of course, you don't see.
Is he there?
He's in charge.
Is he working?
He's working. Let's go to Boko.
What?
Evangelist.
senior.
Look, we've not started yet.
No, relax.
This government.
Alhaji, when will you start?
Relax.
Time is running.
Evangelist.
Senior.
But this Boko is a very, very delicate matter.
Yes.
I don't know. But some people think the over-politicization of it is also part, and that if you, the politicians, would decide to, of course, disassociate yourself from it to some extent, there will be some level of control in that, because the level of the death and the killings is serious. Yeah. Even IGP was not really safe, let alone you and I. It's a very, very, very serious situation. Let me hear you. A lot have been happening from that area.
Alpha, the Boko crisis has been with us for some years now. I did a lot of reading on it and between the Kusasis and the Mamprosis. We can trace it and know where it's coming from. What we need to do is to be bold enough to tell people the truth. But in telling people the truth, you must also speak with tact, that you do not escalate the already tension and crisis at hand. All the political parties have attempted, government have attempted to solve it. But I see that government can do all that it can. But when the two sides decide not to
agree or
what can
it's going
you
to be
do?
very difficult.
It is important for our brothers and sisters from that area.
Because we are told they have intermarried.
They've stayed there for so long.
Yeah.
They are mixed up. They have children. They are Ayareges.
I'm told their mother.
The Ayareges. Both parents. One is a Kusasi. One is a
That's
Mampusi.
what I'm told. Yeah.
So the other time, Hassan was asking. Now that there's fire there, where should he go? His father's house or his mother's house? No peace anywhere. So it puts them and all of us in that fix that we need not to play so much politics.
But can we
with
solve
it?
Is it something? Because
it is solvable. It is something we can do.
Rather.
We can do by ensuring that our brothers and sisters sit down to talk and say that we are giving peace a chance. It is becoming difficult for even investors to go to that area.
Yeah, you can't go. Even for you to travel outside of, you'll be screened.
Even if you are crossing, you are just passing by. It's a delicate issue that.
And you know it's close to Burkina too.
Yes,
you
the
know
borders.
What's happening. So it makes it very.
The borders. And just what happened over the weekend. The new IGP, Tete Yohono, and his team went there. The president, upon assumption of power, went there early January to talk with them. During the campaign, we went there, all the parties went there to do their campaigning. During the election, there were issues. I know the MPP were banned. One of the chiefs, the overlord, said they don't want to see any activity with the MPP in there. We saw that on the day of elections, after the counting, the MPP got zeros in most polling stations.
But in the other area too, the same thing.
Yes.
I mean, it's like they have decided that we are this party. We are this party. Kind of.
You so cannot take their political orientation out of it. So we need to call all sides. They must decide that no war. We want peace. And then the IGP has also visited on that day. His car.
People have an issue with the promise he gave to them. What's your take?
One of his car was shot into.
The car that he was.
The IGP said that the youth, they should put down their arms. When it's time for recruitment, he will bring a special team there to meet them. Yes, and ensure that
they are recruited.
Those who qualify are recruited. I have a video of what he said. There's been that twist, and it's not helping the peace. It's not helping the peace. Certainly, there are some of the youth who qualify to be police, who qualify to be nurses, who qualify to be engineers, and all sort of. So
it's okay that
put down your arms. We shall give you the hearing and recruitment time. Those who qualify, will give them the chance.
The reason why people have concern is that if you pick such a person into the security force with this mindset, with the things that he has done, and you give him the gun as a police officer, imagine if the other person or other people from the other area is deployed to go and You know what's likely
you
to
are
happen.
right. You are
So
right.
people will say, no, you don't.
That is stretching it into areas that I feel we should not get there in the first place. In as much as there's some point, it makes some sense. This is someone who is holding gun, not using it legally, and now you say put that one down. I'll give you a uniform. I'll give you a gun again. What have you done? So we need to open it up holistically. But the IGP, for me, I've watched over and over. He didn't make any error. As of now, what we need is peace.
So
anything you do for them to
you will say,
get the peace for
but
us to.
It could be that the IGP just said it.
No, that one too. You can't say the IGP just said it.
No,
you can get people from there
within the time
who will go through the training, who qualify, go through the training.
But do you think these people are going to be motivated? Why? Because
it's a very delicate.
They feel that they are fighting for their, like I said, it is a different level.
You can see that I'm trying to be diplomatic as I can.
Anything that has got to do with ethnicity and religion,
dealing with it,
it's a
you need to
matter.
Yes, communicators seated here. If we get overly emotional and put on our political lenses and all that and go boom,
worsen the situation.
Worsen it.
But the MPP feel that president comments during the campaign season showed to everybody that, well, if you are now in government, you did say that when the other party is in government, this thing escalates. Now you are in government. We are seeing it's coming up. So it means that you want to say that you know how to control the thing. So do it.
We are doing it. They are in opposition. If they were able to do it, they wouldn't have gotten 0-0s in polling stations there. The people themselves did not vote for them. They know them. So they should give us some peace for us to sit down with our brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Peace is paramount. Development is key. We need peace in Boko. We need peace in Boko. What happened? They've killed even 2 people and burned 1. 2 police officers young officers.
That place is
young officers.
Even traveling close to that area, it's a very dangerous.
I know they are capable of saying that enough of the strife, enough.
It's possible.
Yes,
even
and I know
serious wars there.
Yes, I know they will give peace a chance. I know. I trust our brothers and sisters from Moko. Let's ensure that we tone down on the political.
The 2 groups will have to talk.
They have capable leaders.
The other ones that are not 2 will have to meet and see how they can.
Yes,
you get the point.
Both sides have capable leaders.
But now I don't think the member of parliament has, because
his house has been touched. He was even outside Ghana and then got a report that his house has been touched. What crime? They should give peace a chance. I don't want to talk so much.
This one says, good morning, Alpha.
They can do it.
Keep the good works. My humble suggestion, if the Asante-Hennes negotiation fails, which we are all not praying,
it will not fail.
Government should just create a paramountcy for the Kusasis
government
in Zebula and another paramountcy for the Mampusis in Naleru and take over Boku, so that Boku will not have any traditional chief. Simply that. So agreement is the issue, my brother. So easy like that. Alhaji, let's talk. Let me hear you. You have an idea of how we dealt with Dabong. Something we can use the same template, or in this case, you think it's a different case altogether?
Alpha, you seem to be mixing apples and oranges this morning. Alpha, vindication, they say, is indeed in the womb of time. Now, listen to me well.
I'm listening
this
to you
morning.
very, very well.
Capture him well.
President Mahama, as he is today, was the opposition leader in this country. He went to Boko, lo and behold, met them, and said it there that anytime NDC was in government, there were peace in Boko. But when the moment MPP assumed office, then Boko turns into a Bermuda field, turmoil, confusion, disturbances, and pandemonium. He said it there. He juxtaposed his words by saying to them that they should vote for NDC and vote for them massively, because when he comes, he will ensure that there is peace in Boko, because they have the track record. Anytime MPP is in government, Boko is not at peace. That was his words. I hope you heard it.
I did.
You did. Say it to the hearing of everybody. Did you hear that?
Why?
You heard it.
I've even referred to it. Why are you?
Now, NDC is in government. You see, my mother's sister marries, it's late. She was married to a Kusasi man. He was an ex-service person. They stay at an area there called Gingande. That is where the Kusasis are dominant, Kusasi dominant area. My sister, her daughter died. I couldn't go to Boko. You know why? Because of the confusion there. I was told never to even tempt. Yeah, and I couldn't go. None of my siblings went because of this issue. You see, the problem that John Mahama and NDC will continue to have around their neck is what they said when they were in opposition. Look, me, last week there was a meeting that we had, our party meeting. It wasn't any, it has nothing to do with this conflicts and other stuff. But knowing where we came from, what NDC was doing at the time we were in government, when I was asking them that, hey, you think we will be in government forever? We wouldn't be in government forever. One day you will come. But you need to come and have a conducive atmosphere to lead and lead well. Because when the country is at peace, we will all be at peace. When the economy is in good shape, it reflects in my daily dealings, in your daily dealings, and almost everybody. So let us do it and do it well. For election to come, no matter what you do as a government, the opposition will find something to say because you are there to criticize constructively. When there is something that doesn't go on well, you should talk about it. But there are issues that we shouldn't politicize them. One is these issues. Some of these issues shouldn't have been politicized at all because, see, look, like you were saying, that a faction said they wouldn't like to see MPP. The same thing applies to another faction where they also said they wouldn't like to see NDC. You understand? But at the end of the day, you people were happy because of those pronouncements at the time. Today, the pronouncement still exists. You are saying that we had zero. Yes, we had zero. That was then. Today, we are not on election. If today election is to be held today, it will be a different ball game altogether because the people who are saying, who are causing, look, Kusasi guys held press conferences. They said a whole lot of things against the president and the MP. They ended up banning and doing a whole lot of things. When you go to Boko today, any issue that happens in Boko today, you are able to tell. This is orchestrated or this was done by Mamprisis, this was done by Kusasis. Is it not an open secret for everybody to know? It's there, everybody, it's out there for everybody to see. Then the IGP goes there. He goes to meet the people. Then you go and tell them that disarm yourself. Let's all disarm ourselves. When it gets to recruitment into the police service, the motivation is that I'll give you special treatment in recruiting your people. Hey! Ava!
What is wrong with that?
Hey! Oh, you saw nothing wrong with that?
No, I'm not.
Wow.
I'm asking you what you think is wrong.
So the IGP is telling me, Ali do as I sit here, former MC for Asokwere Mampo, MPP this year, that when there is an issue at Dagoba Live tomorrow morning, you will come to them and tell them, oh, disarm yourselves. If it gets to police recruitment, we will take you to police. Is that where we are today? That's why I was asking you. That is someone in charge. Have we voted for somebody to come and reset Ghana indeed? Is that the reset? Hey, Ava, you saw nothing wrong with this. It's dangerous.
I didn't say I see nothing.
It's dangerous. Look, you see the essence of punishment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people will be enthused. Even those who punish you will be enthused in punishing you. No. But the person has to be put in the eyes to have the feeling of his actions. Then to serve as a deterrent to others. Then today, the IGP goes to tell those in Boko that disarm yourselves. When it gets to police recruitment, we recruit you. And what's now? Kenya is number one for your case. Also, disarm yourselves. You do police. Is that what we are doing today? Hey! Look, we did not vote for this. Okay, I didn't vote for them anyway. I will never vote for them anyway. But this is not what those who voted for you bargained for. I don't think so.
Okay.
Look, you see, look, we lack leadership today. That's what I can say as far as this issue of Boko is concerned. Because you know what? It has never gotten escalated to this extent. Where IGP goes, then the sky is shot at.
Can the political class deal with this matter?
We are dealing with it. We will never tell our people to go and cause mayhem. Baumia will not go and stand in Boko and tell them that when we win, there will be peace in Boko because when NDC wins, there is no peace. No, we will not say that. We don't need that. Baumia will never say that. Look, you see, if I tell you, as I'm speaking with you, the engagement, our people are talking to people. Now listen, please, let us be in peace. Look, I've been in government before, and I know the sort of hardships that we pass through as a result of some of these confusions, even small ones. But NDC capitalize on some of these things to do come. Anything that happens, NDC will be involved and they will say a whole lot of things. Look, I remember, you remember Zongo 7? Where I was an MC?
Yeah, I do.
When I was an MC, there was an issue. Our people had gone to Manson Kwanta. 7 of them were gunned down. Those 7, 4 were from Aswansi, but others were not from Aswansi. That day, I had an executive committee meeting from morning till evening. Only to finish the meeting, then the pictures started flying. Then NDC to, hey, I sent those guys to go and do Galamsey for me. I have never done Galamsey. I don't know how Galamsey is even done. But you see, typical of them, anytime there is an issue, when there was an issue then, you capitalize on it, then you read political meanings. And that is what is causing some of these issues today because of what you said. Okay. But I still believe that, look, the government should be up and doing it. Look, you need to crack the whip.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it is MPP, NDC, CPP, whoever, crack the whip and make sure we live in peace. We need Boko, okay. As you are saying. It's a border town. A portion goes to Togo. A certain aspect also goes to Burkina Faso. You understand? So if we don't take care and it goes beyond where it is now, Master, anything can happen because you know that enclave. Yeah. The issue of the terrorists and other stuff, they are at the peripheral.
It's a very serious matter.
It's a serious matter. We need to take care.
That's largely to say this submission. As for Evangelist, he doesn't want to talk a lot more on this. I don't know if he will do the rebuttals or we should move on to our next topic.
He should talk about Boko.
No, he wants to.
Oh, but it's true.
The thing is a very delicate matter.
You see why, Santa? You remember when we were in power? Anytime we came and he speak on something, I said, you know what? I was in government.
You guys say
you were always at a defensive angle.
So let's go to DCs.
Yes.
There's tension across Ghana.
Yes.
Evangelist. But they won't agree. Asante Mampong. is on fire. The last time we talked about it, I think Atrimon Obeja also they even beat the
Atrimon Obeja
South. Quite also people say if the party chairman is not, they won't agree across
Kumewu.
Yeah. Okay. So we're asking. It's like is the issue every now and then.
It's become
I don't know why
a cycle. Every 4 years we hear of such, but you realize that this time it has been managed very well.
This one has been managed
unlike the NPP.
Right.
The NPP, the last 4 years,
please, I'll come to you.
The last 4 years of Nana Addo Dankwa.
Is it their problem?
It took him nearly a year.
No.
Okay, to a point.
Yes. If it was easy, would they have spent almost 10 months? 10 months, and we all saw the chaotic nature of the MPP. This time, 3 months into the administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, as we speak, 8 regions have been done. There were few.
So Ashanti region, just one officially.
Yes, and then the other regions are now coming.
Yeah.
Some people have asked, why is it that it's not a whole when it comes to Ashanti region, all the 43 districts? But there's been an explanation. You know KMA, the center, it holds 5 constituencies. And with this fire that happened and all that, we need to attend to it as quick as possible. The Central Business Center is becoming too chaotic with debt and all that. So His Excellency John Dramani Mahama deemed it fit to ensure that we get a leader. Let me say good morning to Honorable Richard Ofori Akwesi Ajimanbuadi Kinzuba, as we all know him. He went through a process. There were many that put themselves up. And then the party, through their vetting process, shortlisted 3 people. Now we are hearing of even areas that names have not been mentioned. Yeah. People are holding press conferences. People are vandalizing stuff, destroying things. Then I ask myself, after you have done that, come let me ask you, has the president mentioned anybody's name? They say no.
Picked.
They say no. Then I say, then why are you doing this? Then they tell us they've picked information. Information from where? Do you know better than the president? That's the question I ask.
Don't they know better than the president in terms of who in their area they think deserves to be given to?
There's been a process.
Because as for them, they are there.
You are there. There's been a process. Okay. It was a fair one. We opened it up. There, I know some areas, 48 people picked from. Areas 28, 18, 9, 10.
A lot.
Why didn't these people put themselves up?
A lot of them say their person or favorite person was part. Just that they feel that he will not or she will not.
You feel. You see, when you do politics with your emotions and your feelings, most of the time you get it wrong.
Information that will not, whether you like it or not, evangelist. Before Kinzuba you picked information that you'll be appointed, 2 of us. Even me that I'm not part of your party, I picked. So
now you are denying us.
No, I'm not part of your party.
When it gets to Alhaji's turn, says him, and we know that you are neutral. You didn't vote.
So now that you
agenda setters, Alhaji will say.
Now that he has come, they are using they are saying that. I mean, for a party person, you don't have to wait for the thing to become official. There's a way you can see who exactly and have an idea of who
you always get it wrong. Let us understand that there's a process.
And the thing that when you wait and the name is mentioned,
there's a process.
It's gone.
It's not gone. It's not gone. We always have to be guided by history. Even though this morning some of your callers and the voices you played, people were calling for elections and all that. We are looking at it being opened up and being political, many are saying, even this, there's an election sort of. The party goes through this process. The executives, those who are in charge of the selection, they vote. Yes, they vote. Selection is election is selection. They vote before they present the name to the president. The president also consult people, and out of the 3, they choose one. It may be that the president consult maybe 5 people. 3 of them will say Alpha should go. Is it not a form of election? And then when the name is put out, the assembly level, don't they vote on them? Last Thursday, I was at Mecklin. Yes, I was at Mecklin. Honorable Buedi Zuba. They voted on him. He got 80.
Massive endorsement.
98.2%. Just one person voted no.
That one I'm suspecting.
There was an election. And we know when it comes to KMA, majority of the assembly members are MPP, who are coming from MPP strongholds. So they represent their people. It's also elections. Why don't we take our time?
I've known it's fair that for some areas, PCs who couldn't win more or less are given.
With all that process, the party will have to work with Nananum. They have a stake. They are the custodians of the land. You are coming to work for them. We listen to Nananum. We listen to the party people. After all, those who will be presented are party people. I'm yet to hear anywhere there's confusion and the people are saying this is not a party person. We don't know him or her.
Okay.
You may have your favorite.
Right.
And then when it gets to the party level, then we go through the processes. The issue with parliamentary candidates, if anybody puts him or herself up to be a parliamentary candidate, we also go through a vetting process to ensure that you qualify to be a member of parliament.
Okay.
Member of parliament. If such a person is not fit, is he fit to be a district chief executive? So all this. Now, the reason we look at their contribution is that this is a person who has gone through that vetting process,
the party,
put himself up to be voted as a member of parliament. Now, when it comes to financial contribution, he's there.
He's the more or less the face of the party.
He became the face. Some were using the word reward.
Yes.
You brought it in.
Yeah, I did.
Basically, our election, it has been on that.
Okay.
The person will go through and the system will say that he qualifies. Okay. Then you come, because he qualifies as MP, he must also qualify to be
Let's go to someone who has he's more knowledgeable when it comes to these matters.
He has been there before. Yes.
He too contested, lost, and he was given the opportunity
to serve.
So
was it a reward to him?
He
no,
has better.
Alhaji worked. I know my friend. He's my good friend.
Talk to me about what's happening. You have much more experience on this more than everybody here in the studio.
I think that it's quite tough, but
this one, the Alhaji will not.
It's an issue that has to be looked at holistically.
Did people demonstrate? Or it was reality?
There was some resistance.
Let me say it here that in 2017, election was held on Wednesday. Now on Saturday after
election to approve.
The national elections was held on Wednesday.
Okay, in 2016.
7th December, yes. So on Saturday, the president was on his way from Tamale. He had gone to thank them. So at the airport, he sent for me. He called through Asanso. I went and met them. Then he said, because I had already recommended 2 people.
You have recommended 2 people?
I wasn't for MC. No. I'm telling you something today that I don't know.
Okay.
So what he told me was that when he was there, Baumia and Bumpi was standing in front of another, I went and squat before him. That he said, even to me, I told him that I wasn't interested because I recommended you, but he wanted me there. He knows why. He knew why I said I wasn't interested, but I should do it. I said, okay.
Wow.
So it's a good job.
So
you didn't lobby.
No.
Hey.
That wasn't
Allah.
No, Allah. I didn't want.
Yes, Allah.
I didn't want to be the interface because you see, this is where I was born. I have been an assembly member there, very vociferous at KMD, then to Asquare. So I knew what was there for me. But lo and behold, when the appointing authority says this is what I want you to do for me, you have no option. You understand? But you see, all of these things that are happening, NDC should blame themselves.
How?
Remember why? You know why? You see, Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo had promised that you will make MMDC position elective position. You understand? And there was consultation. He consulted all the former presidents. You remember there was a meeting between himself, former President Rawlings was in attendance, Kufuor was in attendance, as well as Maham.
Oh, they discussed that.
That was the discussion at the time.
I see.
You understand? And the NDC, they were in support of it. Even referendum was set. But at the 90th minute, they said no, they were not.
They said they didn't. It wasn't discussed. It was going to be on partisan. That was the only issue they had.
But even it was to be on partisan basis. Don't you know that these issues that are happening today wouldn't have been solved? Maybe the same people that you want. If they are 4, they are 5, they are whatever it is, your own people will go and vote and select anyone they want. That would have been better than anything else. But today, look at what is going on. They just have snippets of information that it is expected maybe from grapevine, such a person will be nominated. So let us start causing confusion. Then they start. You understand? So that's what I'm saying, that anything that they say, they said yesterday, it's what is haunting them today. Look, but me, you see, it becomes so difficult. The selection of MMDCs always becomes so difficult because it is always seen as the last lap of appointments. You understand? Now, ministers have been.
So if I don't get it, so I have to.
Yes, if I'm not part of this one, then
it
I'm
means
gone.
that I have to wait for a very long time.
Let me be honest with you. First term of every government is so crucial. If you are not part of it, master, then it's not easy.
It's like the first 45 minutes of it. If you are not part of the first
team. You need to be part of the first team. First, the first, those in the first. Yes. You understand? So, you see, I will, if, let's say tomorrow, MPP comes to power, one of the things that I will suggest even before we go into any election is that, look, every government should try as much as possible to appoint finance minister first, attorney general second, energy minister, then local government ministers.
So that they will start the.
You understand?
Okay.
So when you, because you see, you know, MMDCs are the interface between the executive and the grassroots. You are the most visible symbol of the president. So if the president cannot be reached, ask for you there. 3 a.m. people were in front of my house. 3, yeah. 3 a.m. yes. You understand? So if, let's say for instance, these ministers, the finance, the local government, the national security minister, because see, the national security ministers will ensure that there is peace. You understand? Because see, you remember Delta Force and the issue.
Yeah, in your first 2017.
Yes.
So.
I know the pronouncement that went before they were arrested. And if those things were not done, people will have taken the law into their own hands and that's a whole lot of things. You remember when their people started going to warehouses, breaking into them, and I said that, hey, this thing will cause you problems. Because when the people becomes emboldened, they will do
and
more.
They will be widespread.
Yes, they will. So when you get these people set, then you fast track the appointment of MMDCs.
So it has to be. It shouldn't be the last.
Yes, no. The influential ones who will have the capacity to organize people to cause mayhem will have the understanding that maybe if
I'll get the bigger ones. Oh, okay, you are making a point.
So if I'm not mentioned in the MMDC appointment,
maybe
there will
something
be another,
bigger.
Other
If you don't do that,
but here is the case. Ministers have been named, CEOs have been named, deputy CEOs have been named, even envoys, ambassadors, those who are going to anywhere, they are aware. Those who are going to places are aware today, as I'm speaking with you. So everybody who is sitting on the flanks thinks that, hey, this is the last lap. It is either myself or no one else. So there should be chaos. You understand? So I will plead with our leaders, both MPP, NDCC, whoever. When we come, if we are able to turn the table upside down, to change the status quo by appointing MMDCs, maybe let's say appointing ministers of finance, ministers of energy, attorney general, and local government and national security. These 5 ministers, when they are in place, then the next organ of it should be the MMDCs. When that is done, however, there will be peace. But if you allow it to go to maintain the status quo, where ministers are mentioned, deputy ministers are mentioned, CEOs are mentioned, even ambassadors who are going to represent the country elsewhere are all they are all aware of where they are going. Then, if it remains the MMDC position, there will always be issues around our necks for us to battle with.
Thank you very much. That's Alhaji Seidu. He is former MC for Askori-Mampong, former parliamentary candidate for the MPP in the Asawasi constituency.
My people in the Duke room are saying that, why don't I mention former assembly member for the Duke room?
Former assembly.
So I Duke room.
Former assembly member for those of you listening in Edu room. Edu room is close to Sawaba.
Yeah, from Edu room then Sawaba.
Hey, you do job positions. Hey,
he's a big man.
Oh, it's not a small area.
So that's why I always
a very hot area.
I've been in the
trenches. I can see. Evangelist Richard Prah is also former parliamentary candidate.
But let us be honest. Evangelist has done a lot for NDC.
They will do. They say.
Let me be honest with you. Me, I've always mentioned Zuba. For him, is gone. I've always mentioned Professor Hans, Professor Alhaji Dakosa, Professor Brignaki, and US. These are all people I always meet. Evangelist has also done so well. Yeah. I mean, as a former parliamentary
he was part of the regional campaign.
Anytime you become a parliamentary candidate, once a parliamentary candidate, the people out there would see you as such.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you don't contest today. They will come today to him.
They will call him.
The party is in government today. Ask him. They've been coming to him. They will come. So please, the party, they should put him where he also gets some liquid.
Evangelist, say something. Do you agree with what Alhaji is saying?
But he cannot say it. You will say that God's time is the best. Yes, God's time is the best, and the time is now.
Thank you.
They should get him somewhere.
Thank you. No, this campaign will have Evangelist will have to put it on his status. This thing, cut it.
When we are talking about
Evangelist
the former,
NDC,
I also have a lot
should appoint him.
About your former parliamentary candidate,
former vice chairman in Shiaso.
Yes.
Okay.
Former constituency executive.
To chop vice chairman in Shiaso.
Former ward chairman.
Hey.
Former branch secretary.
Former communicator.
Okay, then
you are still
former police station chairman.
Yes.
Former police station secretary. Former constituency communication officer.
So this morning we are all formers. On this former note, we end the show. Thank you very much for joining us. We stream live on Facebook. You can go and follow the conversation again. That's our show. My name has been Alpha. Ali, have a very good.
Charlie, be bright, what up? Improve me name, Charlie.